Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Hey everyone! Welcome back to Echo's Record Collection. My name is Nathan the Echo. First of all, I just wanted to apologize for the last video. I was like feeling super out of it and weird, and I was like, I have to put out a video, but I'm so out of it and weird. And so I did like a very lackluster job of talking about that emo album. So I wanted to apologize for that, and I wanted to make everyone aware that that'll probably happen more in the future. Because yeah, that's just life, you know. Sometimes you're just not feeling up to it. But I'm always gonna give 100% of whatever I have. And so if I only have 1% energy, I'm gonna give 100% of that 1% of energy. But anyways, with that out of the way, today I'm gonna be talking about this album. It's The Glow Part 2 by The Microphones. Um, and this is this is an incredible album, man. I listened to it last night while under the influence of um, a certain drug. I won't say which one, just because I don't know. Whatever. Forget I said anything. I don't do drugs. Um, so this is an incredible album. It's like an indie psychedelic folk like uh lo-fi rock electronic thingamajig. Um but yeah, it's super cool. I found this record at Underground Sounds in Ann Arbor, so shout out to them. They're an incredible record store I'll definitely be going back to many times in the future. Um, yeah, I've never seen this album in a record store before, and they just happened to have it, so I was like, well, I kind of have to buy it. So first of all, like the design of this album is impeccable. Uh, because it's different from like your typical like gatefold album. Like just to show you an example, like your typical gatefold album like opens like this, you know. But this album opens this way, and then you like turn it over, and there's this beautiful like photography of what I would assume to be Washington because that's where he lives. Phil Elverum, the guy who does this. And then on the back here we have a beautiful little like track list and like some cool like photo collages of what I would also assume to be Washington. Um, Now the one thing I will say about this album that kind of sucks, not like the music itself, but just the packaging, is that like the records are impossible to get out of the sleeves. Like I'm not even going to attempt it because it's just like it's a really snug fit. Which isn't a bad thing at all. It just means like if I want to listen to this record, I have to really want it. Uh, but I will show you um, this freaking awesome thing right here. Uh, it's like this whole. I can't even show it all in the frame, but it's like this really cool poster with some more beautiful photography. And then on the back, it's like all the lyrics to the entire album, handwritten out with this beautiful little semi truck picture at the top. Um, you got all the credits right there, and this is what I love about Phil Elverum is he takes so much like care into the way that he designs his records. I also have Night Palace by his other project Mount Eerie, which I'll be talking about in a separate video. And that album also has incredible packaging. Uh, so yeah, I love artists that just really take care in like the way they design like a vinyl album, because like the design and packaging of the album is just as much of an art form as the music itself. And so, the other thing that's pretty awesome about this album, if I can fit this back in there. I don't know if I can. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, so I was listening to this album, and I got to the end of the album, and I was putting the second disc back in to the thing, and I was like, it's not going in. Like, why isn't this going in? It's like such a snug fit. And then I realized why it wasn't going in. It's because there's this little thing in there. There's a freaking polar bear in there. And then you unfold it and there's a little guy. And then you turn it over and there's more amazing photography that like probably has something to do with the album, but I don't know what it is. You have Phil and his beautiful silhouette right here. It's so cool, dude. God, I'm like nerding out so much over how this album is designed. Um, but like that's only part of it. That's just the tip of the iceberg with this album because the music on this album is oh god, maybe I'll just hold it. The music on this album is like otherworldly. Just the first three songs, like the first side of the record is like maybe some of the like best songs ever made ever. Like it's maybe the best one of the best like three song runs in music history. Um, this album like I'm pretty sure this is a breakup album. Like he wrote this album after breaking up with his girlfriend and he was just feeling very lonely and hurt and broken and like kind of lost. And so all of those emotions that he was feeling really like resonates through the entirety of this record. Like there's so much like it's a very desolate album, I guess I'll say. Like it feels like you're just sitting out alone at night like on the beach in the Pacific Northwest, which is like I said is where this album comes from. And just like listening to the sounds of the night and how like there's all these things going on in the darkness that like you'll never know about unless you stay up that late and really are conscious of your surroundings at night. Um, but it also feels like this album has like a darkness to it, but it's also like not only the external darkness of the world around you, but it's also like the internal darkness of like the deepest like subconscious recesses of your mind where like you only go to these places if you're like meditating or on certain drugs or like it's sort of what Aldous Huxley described as the antipodes of your mind. And I feel like this album does a great job of sort of exploring those like furthest reaches of your mind that you usually don't go to and aren't familiar with, which is super cool. At least that's my interpretation of it. But yeah, this album just kind of covers like everything. It's just like the human experience, but it like expresses the human experience in a way that is like inhuman and almost alien in a way. Um, and like the album cover really like emphasizes this feeling as well with like kind of like the it's almost like a childlike drawing. Like this looks like a picture from like a children's book that you'd find like in an antique store or something with like these poorly drawn stars and like the trees and this freaking awesome elephant right here. And yeah, I don't know. It really captures like the I guess kind of what's the right word? It's not innocent. It's I don't know. It just this album has a very like honest sound to it, I guess. It's like yeah, this is the album. This is what I made. It feels like he made this album in like one go, you know? He was just like he has an idea, he practices it for a little bit and then he records it and then he forgets about it. And then he does that over and over again until he has like a bunch of songs and then he just puts them all in a series and releases them as an album. Like it feels like a it feels like a concept album in a way because there's this constant like sort of auditory motif throughout of I don't even know what it is, but it's like the most pleasant sound you've ever heard. And this sound just continues throughout the entire album. Like you won't know what I'm talking about unless you listen to it. So please go listen to this album. It's incredible. It's an experience like all on its own. Um and yeah, it really changed like it honestly changed like the way that I perceive music. That like it's not just like a way to express emotions, but it's a way to like create emotions that don't exist yet. It's a way to like yeah, yeah. I said it perfectly. There's no like follow up to that. It's just like you can use sounds and like experiment with different like recording techniques to create like these worlds and characters and organisms that don't exist anywhere in our current universe. And this record is a great example of that. Um, yeah, I feel like I've gushed about this album enough. Please go listen to it. It's incredible. It might take like a couple tries to get into. It's a weird album because it's just so unique in its style. But I feel like if you just sit down with it, like close your eyes, kind of just raw dog the album, if you will, you'll have an amazing time. Um, and speaking of listening to albums that are good, please go listen to my music, Nathan the Echo, on all streaming platforms. My new album, A Feeling Without a Face, is still out and still going strong and still as good as ever. So yeah, go listen to that. I think it's pretty cool. Um, and yeah, I mean, I guess while we're on that topic, this guy, Phil Elverum, actually sort of inspired, he sort of changed how I make music. Like, because he just talks about whatever he wants, you know? Like he finds the most like mundane, unnoticeable parts of life and then creates an entire song out of it. And that's been really inspiring for me. Like he has just such an honest songwriting style and like he's just so like vulnerable in his music. And yeah, that's really affected like how I approach my own songwriting. Um yeah, he's an incredible artist. Uh, so yeah, everyone listen to this album, listen to my music, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Tell me your thoughts about this album. Tell me your thoughts about my music, please. I need feedback so I can get better. Um, and yeah, I guess if there's nothing else I can think of talking about, then bye.